Hi there, and welcome to the Baby Guru's YouTube TV channel. My name is Karen Becker, and I am the Baby Guru. I have been in the baby industry for a long time and want to really pass on my expertise and my product knowledge to you in an effort to try and release some of the frustration that I know all new parents have. I've seen it, I don't know how many times, where new parents walk into stores and they're just so frustrated. They feel so silly because they don't know things. And there really is no need for that. So these videos, of which I have lots of these kinds of videos, are for you, for the people who are on this fabulous journey but just feeling frustrated. So let's get started. Today, what I want to do is I want to talk about actually how you feed the first solid food to your baby and what you're going to need to do it, because you actually don't need a lot. So I've already done a video and you should have a look at that on high chairs. I've done a couple of them. This is the Baby Jogger City Bistro high chair. So I've done a video on that. I really like it. So I'm going to use it for today's prop. And then my little baby here. So he's a pretty small guy. And I must thank my friends from Cushies. They sent me all kinds of fabulous silicone stuff that I can show you today on how to get started. So there's so much of this on the market and you don't need a lot. I find people fill their cupboards full of it. So the actual process of feeding your newborn baby or your baby at 4 to 6 months, when you start feeding those solid foods, which will look like a cereal at the first start of the feeding process, you're going to need some utensils. Don't be using your bowls. Don't be using your utensils. The metal is too hard. It's too big. It just doesn't do the job. And your bowls are breakable and they're going to break. You're going to drop them, going to chuck them, they're going to throw them. It's a mess. So this is a bit of a hot mess. A few things you're going to need. So baby's probably going to want to do some of this themselves. So you need to give them a bit of independence so they also don't get frustrated, because when they're frustrated, it makes this job even harder than it is in the first place. So as far as what they're going to use, you need to be buying tools that are designed for their tiny little hands. They have tiny little hands and don't need to be using the utensils you're using. They tend to shove them way too far down their throat. So I'm going to show you these. These are made by Grabby's. Grabby's makes these utensils, which are absolutely perfect for those tiny hands. They basically are going to grab a hold of them this way. And this little flower shape here, this is a choke guard. The choke guard stops them choking. So they are going to ram this in their throats as far as they can. They're probably going to chew on it, teeth on it. That's fine. All of that is fine. Hopefully they get a bit of food on this. And if they don't, it's not going to matter, because your job's going to be the actual feeding part. But these are fantastic, amazing little tools. So if you see something that looks like this on the market, you need to be buying these. And Grabby's is the company that I love to support. And they just do such a perfect job. So these are ideal. So that's what I would give to Junior. They do them in different plastics. So please make sure you use silicone to start off with. When a baby is first eating, they tend to kind of get super distracted, and a lot of this happens. So you don't want them prodding themselves on their faces with really hard utensils. So soft silicone. Same as the ones, let me just move my goodies forward. Same as the ones that you're going to use. Everything I've got here is silicone. And there is a lot of it out there. So, I mean, I could use these long silicone ones here. These ones are from Everyday Baby. I could use these ones. I also have this one, which is matching my really cute bowl. So for you, you need to have a small bowl and a silicone spoon. Again, just because you go in to feed a baby, it doesn't mean they're going to sit there and open their mouths and play the game. Chances are they're going to get distracted and move their heads, and you too are going to end up maybe missing a few times. So they've got their soft utensils, you've got yours. They have a bowl in front of them. I really don't mind what kind of a bowl you put here, as long as it has suction on the bottom. I don't want to see this coming off and moving around. They're just going to drop it. It's going to go somewhere where it doesn't need to be. So you need to have something that's got suction. So this is what the suction is going to look like. If you look at it sideways, you can see, and then there's always like a little tab here so that you can fully just grab it and you can pull it off. So you need something that when you put it down, It's nice and firm. When they grab it, they can't get it off. So that's for your little guy or girl, and that sits like that. Some people like to separate the food, so I've used this one here just to show you that you have got, you know, separate areas for meat, vegetables, dipping sauces, whatever it may be. You may just find that your child has a favorite bowl that they want to use because this one's a lion, this one's a kitty cat, whatever it takes. But these all have section, and I don't really mind what it takes. And please don't load these bowls up with tons of food. Your baby has a small stomach, and when you're first feeding solid food, you don't need tons of it. So don't load them up with tons of food. A tablespoon of food in here would be enough. It's probably not going to go anywhere you want it to go. The little spoons, and we're good to go. So that's what they're going to practice. This is just a practice makes perfect program here. For you, I'm hoping you've had lots of practice and you are perfect. So you need a bowl. This one also has sections, so I could use it later for them. In the palm of my hand, so I got a good grip on it. They're probably going to want to grab at it, so you need to be able to have a good grip on it. And this is where the spoon is going. Again, a silicone spoon. Mine's bigger, as you can see. I obviously have bigger hands. And this is in and in. So this is the motion. I would sit slightly off to the side. If you sit straight in front of them, again, you kind of need an escape route. You need to be able to jump up and grab a cloth. Again, I have a little packet of cloths here that was given to me by the Breen company. There is, again, lots of this on the market. You should always have tons of washcloths. Washcloths kids are dirty. Like, you're always wiping their faces, but they're little. See, you don't need to be using your dishcloth. I mean, that's just a massive cloth. So I have a whole bunch of these. There's 6 in this little packet. I'd have a couple of wet and a couple of dry every mealtime. Throw them in the laundry, wash your dryer, wash your dryer. So you need a packet of those. These are amazing. So when you're cooking for your family and you are using some form of a food processor, or you're just mashing the food up, you're grinding it up with whatever you're using, you can then portion it off into something like this. Again, these are silicone, but what's amazing is with the silicone, you're able to push it in and it just pops out so you can defrost and feed. You're not wasting all that food that you took so long to make. They don't eat much more than this. They look tiny. I think these are probably, I don't know, 2-3 ounces, but you just don't need too much. Bibs, my little guy is wearing like a little bandana bib. It's probably not enough, to be honest with you. It's covering, but they're pretty dirty. These super soft silicone bibs with varying neck fastenings for those chunkier necks or the little skinny necks, but you could do with something that's going to fasten and is super soft so that it's not in their way and it moves with them when they move, but it just may catch some of it as it's going down. Again, you can wash these, hang them over the tap, let it drip dry, and you're good for the next meal. So there's an art to this. You don't need a lot of stuff. Remember, the high chair becomes the feeding spot. You are in this high chair probably 3 times a day. You are going to need, I'd say, 2 or 3 bowls, 2 or 3 sets of these. You know, they're going to go through the dishwasher. They're not going to be ready when you want them. So just make sure you got enough, but you don't have to overdo it. And if you are going to use things that you don't like, as soon as you don't like, get rid of them. Don't fill your cupboards full of stuff. It's not a good idea. That's it. A couple of little bowls for yourself, bowls for them, some cloths, and there you go. You're into the war zone of feeding your baby. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. I do get asked these questions a lot about feeding. People are not sure where to start. They're not sure how to start, and they're not sure how much stuff to get. And I'm not a big supporter of having you buy tons and tons. It's just a little bit, get what you like and then double up on what you've actually enjoyed using. But the experience should be fun, and obviously eventually they will just be feeding themselves. But until that point, this is where you're at. Okay. Any questions, you know how to find me. I hope you find these videos super helpful. It is what my goal is to help you get through this process just a little bit smoother, in the hopes that you're able to use my information and run with it. My name is Karen Becker. I am the Baby Guru, and that was 101 feeding your first solids and the equipment you will need with your baby. Feel free to jump onto my website, thebabyguru.ca. I do a lot of really in-depth comparisons there. So this is a lot of 101 on, jump over to the website for comparisons and in-depth when you're first actually trying to buy your products. Thanks a lot for joining me. Have a great day.